everyone, welcome to the INDUSTRIQO. So let's see this week's 5 big manufacturing stories from around the world. So first story is from the US semiconductor industry where Micron has announced a new $3 billion investment to strengthen the semiconductor manufacturing in the US. And out of the total amount, nearly $500 million will be going into the GlobalWafers new silicon wafer plant in Sherman, Texas. And along with this investment, Micron and GlobalWafer have also signed a 10-year supply agreement. Silicon wafers are just a base on which the computer chips are built. And by securing this long-term supply of these wafers, Micron want to make sure that that it has materials that are needed to produce the memory chips for growing artificial intelligence market. And this investment is also a part of the Micron's much larger plan to invest more than $250 billion in the US by 2035. And this investment will support nearly 90,000 jobs. And for Micron, this is about building like more of its supply chain inside the US while preparing for the future demand for AI memory chips. Second story is from the automotive industry where Toyota has announced $3.6 billion expansion of its manufacturing plant in San Antonio, Texas. And this investment basically will add a new assembly line that will produce the Toyota Tacoma pickup truck. And this will create more than 2,000 new jobs. And after the project completion, the plant will produce around 150K Tacoma trucks over every year. And this new facility will cover approximately 2.5 million square feet, and production is expected to begin by 2030. And the company Toyota is saying that the investment will help to increase the US production of one of its most powerful and popular pickup trucks while expanding the manufacturing capacity in Texas. Now, a third story is from the metal industry where Alcoa has agreed to acquire most of the South 32 aluminum business in a deal that will be valued at $5.6 billion. And this transaction will include aluminum related operations in Australia, Brazil, and South Africa. And after the deal will close, Alcoa is expected to become one of the world's largest bauxite miner. And if anyone don't know, bauxite is basically the main raw material that is used to produce aluminium. So this acquisition will give Alcoa greater control over the aluminium supply chain from mining the raw material to producing finished aluminium. And the company expects that this acquisition will help them to generate $900 million in long-term financial benefits. And the transaction will be closed in the first half of 2027. And for South 32, the sale is a part of its plan to focus more on other minerals, including copper. Now, our fourth story is from the UK, where the high value manufacturing catapult says more than £100 billion is expected to invest in the UK's nuclear sector over the next decade. And this investment will include projects such as Sizewell C, small modular reactors, nuclear fuel production, and the decommissioning of all nuclear facilities. And if we see, according to the organization, they will create a major opportunity for the UK manufacturers, companies that are making precision engineering parts, heavy steel structures, robotics, advanced materials, pumps, valves, and other industrial equipment could be benefited from the future nuclear projects. And the report also says that the manufacturer should begin preparing now because supplying the nuclear industry requires strict quality standards and specialized certifications. So as early you will be ready for this will be better for you. And the UK's government long-term goal is just to increase the country's nuclear generating capacity from around 7 gigawatts today to 24 gigawatts by 2050. And that is huge. Now, final story is also from the UK, where a new report from the Institution of Mechanical Engineers says that making public transport fully accessible could add nearly 176.4 billion pounds to the UK's economy every year. And the report also estimates that around 2.8 million working age disabled people face transport barriers that make it difficult to access the jobs and other opportunities. So And these barriers will include like stations without lifts, large gaps between trains and platforms, limited travel information, and inconsistent passenger assistance. So the engineers had estimated that cost would be around 20 billion to 24 billion pounds to make the rail network fully accessible. And the report also says that better accessibility could generate up to 34 billion pounds a year in additional fare revenue, as because more people will now use the public transport. And if we see at the same time, the UK government has already committed 280 million pounds to improve the step-free access to the railway stations. And according to the report, improving accessibility is not just about making travel easier, it could also help more people join the workforce and contribute to the economy. So that's it for this week. So take care and please do like, share, and subscribe the channel if you want weekly manufacturing updates from across the globe like this. So thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video.